Cody, I'm going to take a look at your swing from down the line, and I'm doing some comparison also to you and Tiger and you and Rory. Um, the camera setting that I had created a ghost blurry look on some of your swings. Not sure what the setting was. I need to change that next time we meet.
Yeah. Right now, I don't want that over the top pull left. That we can work with that. Yeah. That was compressed. Right hip. Good finish, good balance. That's one of your better ones right there. Good balance.
Cody, I'm going to look at the backswing tracking of the club head. Um, and let's watch Tiger first. Here's his club head. Red line is the shaft line. Pretty straight, doesn't get too inside, a little bit above it. Let's track yours now a little bit. You've made a big improvement since we worked on this in the past. It is better now, but I want to continue to work on it. It's a little too deep. You're pulling your hands a little bit too far behind you and getting too flat. When you get that far inside, it makes the pathway back into the strike zone, the impact zone. It can have too great of a fluctuation between coming in over the top and swinging left, or swinging too far inside out. So it can create pulls, it can create severe hooks, it can even create slices if we swing too far left with a square or even slightly open club face. It can create too much of a slice. So I want to get this pathway in your backswing a little bit more stable and consistent. Now we're at the top of the backswing, and you can see how Tiger's left arm is pretty much right on his shoulder line. If you drew a line from shoulder to shoulder, that left arm is right on that line. If I draw a line from shoulder to shoulder here, your left arm is too far below that. It needs to be up a little bit. The thing that is creating that position of your left arm is how you're setting the club with your right arm. We look here at Tiger. His right elbow is pointing right in here, and yours is here. Going back to the 3 position, this is when the left arm is parallel to the ground. And I want you to notice that Tiger's hands, when his left arm is parallel to the ground, his hands are, as far as the camera's view, are right in line with his right shoulder. So here's your shoulder line in terms of the camera view, but your hands are way back here. Now as we come back down into impact, first we'll look at Tiger. He has his hands set on his shoulder line. His lower body is loaded. He's going to start driving his lower body down. And into impact, he's really driving his right hip into the ball. You can see how you're coming in from a real shallow point You're making a pretty good move with your right hip. You do not have quite as much hip turn as Tiger does, and that's because you really couldn't start the downswing with your lower body. You had to start your downswing with your arms because they were stuck kind of behind you, and you had to kind of get them started first so they get out in front of your body. And so the lower body had to trail that a little bit, and so by the time you got to impact, the lower body was less active. So that once you learn to create a backswing that gives you a little better position at the top, you then will be able to correctly implement the lower body's downswing move. Now I'm comparing your swing to Rory McIlroy, and first of all, let's look just at the trunk of the body. You can see how your upper body and lower body are very similar to each other. And so the way you move your trunk, um, your upper body, your chest, and your shoulders, the tilt that you have of the shoulders, um, those are all pretty similar to Rory. But the difference is in the position of the arms to that body, to that trunk. Whereas your left arm is set too low along from your shoulder line, whereas Rory's left arm is on the same line as his shoulders. Roy's forearm is basically straight up and down, pointing right at this hip. And yours is behind you too much and not above you enough. So it's reworking the movement of your arms in connection to your body that we need to continue to work on. It's something that we have worked on and you've made improvements, but we need to continue to work on it until it's in a much better position. Until these arms are in a better position, you're going to struggle with consistency. Now as we look at the downswing, here you are at impact. Here's Rory at impact. You can see how Roy's lower body is a little bit more dominant in that I can see his left back pocket, so he has a lot more hip turn into the ball. So at impact, his hips are much more forward in front of the ball, and you're still pretty square to the ball here. Your shoulders and sternum are pretty square to the ball here. You haven't really turned past the ball. You had to delay the body's movement back to the ball because you had to give a head start to your arms because they were so far behind you. You could not start the downswing just with the body and let the arms travel with them, because then you would have gotten stuck. Your arms would have been behind your body by the time the body got to the ball. So you were forced to make your arms make the initial move back to the ball, and just to get them back in front of the body so that you could then try to reconnect. But the timing will be way off. So we need to get those arms connected to the body in the backswing and not let them disconnect, and keep them in its proper position in front of the chest.